What's going on, ladies and gents? ETM Crypto here with another cryptocurrency video. Today we're going to be talking about an Ethereum based game contract. Got a few messages regarding this. In fact, it looks like it just came out today. So we're going to be hopping into that in just a sec. Before we do so, guys, go ahead and like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Also, hit that notification bell so you can receive alerts and know what's happening here at Team Escape the Matrix. What's going on? Happy Wednesday. All right, guys. So I'm on that radar. Top 100 Ethereum based contracts. Does this even mean anything? There's so many of these contracts that are nothing but shams and just out to swindle us out of every buck that we have. You know, it's interesting. Before I get into it, though, or, you know, the topic at hand, it's interesting to note that a lot of these present themselves as games. They like to use that term game. You only see that the actual category game covers maybe about 40% of the top 100 listed here, right? Most of them are just listed as other. And even the ones that are listed as games, they're not even really games if you think about it. Let's take a look at CryptoKitties, right? We go to CryptoKitties, we'll notice that it says collectible, breedable, adorable, collect and breed digital cats, start meow. Look, it's still based around Ethereum. You want to make some money. That's really what it is at the end of the day. It just has to be presented in a way that doesn't seem as brutal as the market has been in the last 3 months or so, right? Really, the last 6 months. So, you know, it takes the edge off when you call it a game. It's like saying, you know, let's go to Vegas and have fun, right? Let's play the, you know, let's play the jackpots. Let's play the, what's that called? The tables or whatever the term is, right? You're taking the edge off. You're going to lose your life savings at the tables, but yeah, you have fun, right? Of course not. So we all want to make money, of course, and the smart thing to do is find out what should I avoid, and you know, if I want to avoid losing, of course, because when it comes to games, there will be winners, there will be losers. So what do I need to do to avoid losing? What should I be doing to maximize the chances of winning, or to even maximize my winnings, etc.? And when you realize that one of the contracts that you're looking into and you're trying to do that just doesn't seem possible to win, or it's very unlikely to win, then I highly, strongly advise going into it at all. With that said, the newest or the latest in this entire contract that people are talking about is Ether Shrimp Farm. I've been hearing a lot about this, and in fact, someone sent me a direct message saying, yo, you got to get into this, man. At the time, there was less than 40. It was like around 38 or so. And they said it just came out. Hop into it. Right now, it's 42.97. Let's take a look at it together. I'm going to visit the website. And it's just a one-page web page. Ether Shrimp Farm. Crypto idle game. So it looks like there's a shrimp that produces eggs per hour. I guess, let me read it. You know, it's not a lot. It says, earn Ethereum farming shrimp. Ether Shrimp Farm is the #1 shrimp farming simulator and idle game on the blockchain. I think I can confirm that because it is the only shrimp farming simulator on the blockchain. It says the more shrimp you have, the more eggs they lay. Each shrimp lays at a rate of 1 per day. Hatch more shrimp with your eggs to multiply your production, or cash them out for Ethereum. I don't have my MetaMask plugged in right now. And it says automated market. Ether Shrimp Farm features a high-tech automated market that lets you instantly buy or sell shrimp eggs with a single transaction. Driven by supply and demand, the price automatically adjusts as players trade. Referrals earn 20%, yada, yada, yada. I guess that's from your masternode. So, yeah, it looks like the way the game is presented to us, the shrimp, right, lays 1 egg per day. That's what it says here, right, at a rate of 1 egg per day. Now, when you hatch that egg, you get another shrimp. So the more shrimp you have, the more eggs you're going to have. So if you have like 50 shrimp, they're going to be laying 50 eggs total a day. However, you can decide to then hatch those eggs, which now you'll have 100 shrimp laying 100 eggs, and then it just goes on and on. That's what it appears to be. So I don't know how that works out. I don't know what one shrimp is equivalent to, one egg, etc. You know, so I have to find out a little bit more about that. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. For the most part, guys, all of these games, they're like the same thing. They're just presented in different ways, right? You know, they're just different covers and different, I don't know, you know, different mask, I guess. You know, it's the same thing underneath it for the most part. For the most part. Not all quite the same, but for the most part, we know that they're just another way for us to generate more Ethereum. And so any one of you guys that are listening to this video, right, whether you're subscribed to the channel or not, are you interested in this first and foremost? Are you already a part of it? Let me know if you are. I really want to know how things are going for you. And if you haven't yet joined, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, are you excited about this at all? You know, I'm going to kind of reserve my opinions for now until I take a further look into it. There is a Discord, the contract. You can take a look at it. It's back up to 43. I think it was 42.97 when I started. So maybe someone just bought a few of the things, bought a few of the shrimp, I mean. So let's go back to the thing here. Now, what I will say, the website is very dull, you know. And yes, that kind of matters because, you know, with P3D, one of the things that caught people is just the overall presentation. You were able to see, like, when someone was investing or buying into the contract, when someone was selling. There was a lot going on. It made you feel like you were part of a highly interactive, experience. But when you have something like this, you really don't know what's going on. You got to do a lot of work to keep up. And that kind of, I mean, I'm not a lazy guy, but I know that kind of turns people off when they have to go out their way to figure out what's happening. When it's all laid out for you and presented in a really nice, polished way, it helps. It certainly does. So let's go back to the DAT radar. Let's take a look at a few other things for a moment. We know that there's been a lot of craziness happening in the last 2 weeks, right? The proof of Trayvon James is still in the top 10. That's interesting. 264 ETH. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, when it comes to these contracts, right, that pop out of nowhere, it's really hard to determine where all of this ETH is coming from, right? The idea is to make it look and appear as though there's so many people interested, and that's what's driving these numbers up. The truth is, it could be just 1, 2, 3 people that are putting this amount in. They're not going to put it all in at once because then it's too obvious, right? So they have to do it in a very systematic, calculated way that, creates this natural appearance of interest, aka FOMO, which will then make us jump into it. So I'm not saying that's the case for this particular contract, but just know it happens. It happens. Something comes out of nowhere. It has like 500 ETH. It has like 1,000 ETH. It's like, yeah, sure. The organizers, a lot of pump and dump groups are still working their way into that radar and doing their thing, taking advantage of people or taking advantage of the game, playing it in a way that will guarantee their wins and our losses, etc. So you still have to be mindful of that. P3D is at 5,200 ETH. I think my last video or the video before that, I kind of let you guys know that I pulled all my earnings out, made out in the green. I didn't want to be greedy, and I'm glad that I did because at the time it was like over 7,000. Now it's nearly under 5,000. When it hits under 5,000, which it appears like it will, I'll consider joining back in. But P3D kind of died off a little bit in terms of what people are doing on YouTube and promoting it. Still a lot of ETH in the contract though. And then let's scroll down a little bit. You have Craig Grant now. That's one of the latest things. I guess he's pumping, of course, hardcore. That's at number 17 with 58 ETH. Have a few other things, man. You have proof of only holding. That's down to 41 ETH. And I have to take a look at that and see what's happening with that. Since I spoke with Kenny, I'm not sure if there's any major changes or announcements, but it's at 41 ETH. And then let's keep going down, man. You got Chibi Fighters, you got all these things. Some of these are real games, like you really just play it, and then in the background you can generate ETH or you can mine, etc. But for the most part, very few of these are actual games. You have proof of Craig Grant coin. This Craig Grant guy is all over the top 100, man. I don't know if that's a good look at all. And it's down to 7 ETH. Oh, man, that took so much advantage of people, including Craig Grant himself, as he claimed. He sold all of his ETH. Now, I did a video where I covered a lot of the proof of coins, right? I covered proof of BitConnect. And what was interesting, someone left a comment and said, yo, it would be awesome if they came up with a proof of Carlos Matos coin. And sure enough, they did. Proof of Matos. Carlos Matos. This is insane, guys. Wow. I don't have my MetaMask, so this is probably going to be spinning for a while. But for the most part, as you can see in the background roughly, it's nothing more than just a cookie cut copy and paste of the other contracts that are out there with this picture. That's it. That's pretty much the whole website. Proof of Carlos Matos. This is interesting. And I have a great feeling that Carlos has no clue this even exists. He has nothing to do with it. It's just, people taking advantage of the hype and what's going on right now. So, I don't know. Maybe I should come out with a proof of ETM coin, right? If I did, of course, I would not be interested in swindling anybody out of anything. I would try to be different, try to be unique, come up with something that truly benefits everyone that's a part of it, right? Kind of like what P3D was when it first came out. Everyone was excited. There was nothing to complain about. And sure enough, people found ways, the bad actors, and it happens in every aspect of humanity. People will find ways to milk things at other people's expenses. So, what do you guys think of Ether Shrimp Farm? That's all I want to know right now. Leave a comment below. Tell me about it. If it's something that excites you, why? If you are already a part of it, how has it been panning out for you? How exactly is it working? Or if you're just looking at it from a skeptical point of view, the way I am, the way I think everyone should, you should be critical, especially in the cryptocurrency space. What are your thoughts? What are your apprehensions? What's keeping you from jumping in head first? And lastly, I'll end on this note. One of my favorite quotes that I've been saying for a long time, I know a lot of other investors and smart people use this approach as well. It is never be the first or the last to get involved in something. You don't want to be the first because you're going to be the guinea pig. Things are going to kind of happen with you, and you may wind up losing a lot, and you're not really always going to have a true sense of what's happening, right? Because it's very early on, things are going to be panning out, etc. You don't want to be the last to get involved in something, because by then it's usually too late, right? Everything that was good for the getting has already been got. So you want to be right there, nice in that Goldilocks zone, right nicely in the middle, not too early, not too late. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with Ether Shrimp Farm. That's if I even decide to go into it. So let me know in the comments below, and is there something that you're going to be a part of? What are your thoughts, etc.? What's been going on? If there's any other things too on this list that you like to talk about, feel free to do so. There's a lot of new signs that I'm seeing here, right? I think I've seen already about 10 or more of them. And so somebody told me about Ether Shrimp Farm. I didn't know anything about it, and I wanted to do a video on it. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. This is all I have for you guys today. As always, like the video. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you can receive alerts and know what's happening here at Team Escape of the Matrix. Have yourselves an awesome day. As always, happy investing. Peace.